WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. I have something from a new German independent bottler. This is called the Spheric Spirits, and this is their 2001 vintage blended malt Scotch whiskey, cask number 19, and was bottled 2021. So this bottle over here is 77 euros, which is not that much, to be honest, for a 19-year-old whiskey. Blended malt, why? Because it's a teaspoon whiskey, basically. Nice dark color. This was a refill sherry butt. There were a total of, excuse me, mouse move. There were a total of 603 bottles. And this is Whiskybase number 184469. 45.9% ABV cask strength. So natural color and non-chilled filtered. This is basically a European exclusive only. And if you want to learn more about the company, it's called WeWantFunk.com. Interesting. So two young guys, Benedict and Claudio, they actually have traveled the world and have gained some experience doing different things, and it's very, very interesting to see what they have. They had a Ethel, 31-year-old that sold out. They had a Highland blended malt Scotch whiskey from 1988, also 31 years old, 43.1% sold out. This is still available at the time of filming at the end of August, basically the beginning of September. The blended malt Scotch whiskey 2001 vintage, as I said, 78 euros, 77 euros 90. And as I mentioned, it's Whiskybase number 184469. What am I going to compare it to? I thought about it for a minute, and I'm going to pull out from Berry Brothers and Rudd, the Perspective series number 1. This is a 21-year-old blended. This is a blended Scotch, so it has grain. This is a blended malt, which means it's only single malt, and this is 43%. The price of this is 94 euros. All right, so the color is not the same, but almost. And yeah, I did my video about this a couple months ago, and I have some left, and so I thought I would just pull this out and do a little bit of a comparison, a 21-year-old versus a 19-year-old. So I think it's interesting and exciting. I'm going to use that word here when new independent bottlers start. My only problem is this going to be something that they do for a year and then quit? Or is this something they're going to do for a somewhat longer time and earn a standing in the community? I did not find this bottle myself. Some of my super fans actually said, hey, Jason, look, there's something new. Could you buy the bottle, share it with us, and do a video about it? I was like, no. And then someone else asked. I said, no. I think the third or fourth person that finally asked is, okay, good, I'll go online. And so let's see if I can get the two guys, maybe Benedict and Claudio, on one of my live streams in German. I'm so sorry, I only do the live streams in German. And they'll be talking about their way to become a independent bottler. Who knows? On the nose. All right, so this, at the moment, I talk about 3 categories of sherry whiskeys. You have the new syrup whiskeys. I've mentioned those a few times. I can just pick out, look at this. This is not a bad, this is a bad example. This was the Pulteney, I'm sorry. Here we go. This is a, how old is this? This is 7 years old, I think, right? So this is 8 years old, and this is how it looks. This is sherry syrup. Then you have a lot of the sulfur sherried cask. Don't like those either. And then you have these good old sherry casks. They don't have to be Paxaret, but they're a little bit older, and they are somewhat nice. And that's what I'm getting here. This is somewhat nice. I'm getting leather. I'm getting a little bit of furniture polish. I'm getting some orange peel. I'm getting a little bit here of the... but I am getting a bitter type of sour moment as well. This doesn't do it with me, and as much as I would like to. I like sweeter whiskeys. This is a dry, tart type of whiskey, in my opinion. But it does have that furniture polish. It does have that nice leather moment. It does have a lot of those dark, dark berries in there. Okay, let's go over here to our perspective number 1 from Berry Brothers and Rudd. The 21-year-old, much sweeter. I like this better. I like this. Now, there's a lot of people in Germany that are absolutely a fan of these guys at the moment, especially because they're offering older whiskeys at a halfway okay price. Now, other people, instead of offering 77 euros, they would offer 170 euros. Well, maybe it might have been even 190 euros. That rule of thumb, 10 euros per year. So it's a 19-year-old whiskey, so they could actually go up to 190 euros. And they're selling this bottle for 77, 78 euros. So many people are like, oh, this is a bargain. One person wrote on Whiskybase, and I thought that was a fallacy. He wrote that if it is a Macallan whiskey, which some people are kind of assuming, that'd be the biggest bargain of the year. And then he wrote, but if it was Glenrothes, which other people are saying, then it'd be too expensive. You're buying the whiskey for the flavor profile, especially since it's a no-name whiskey. You're not buying the whiskey because of a hypothetical conspiracy theory. All right, so yeah. Some people, I just don't get them. I'm sorry. All right, dry goodness over here. A little bit of sweeter blended scotch. All right, on the nose, we've done. On the palate, cheers. Not my wheelhouse, but I do admit other people are going to be fantastically happy about it. Now, I forgot to mention, I have bottle number 366 from 603. So the labels are individual. There is nothing on the back, so you can actually see everything. The bare minimalistic moments are here on the label to see and to experience. And that's it. Now, this is a dry whiskey. There are some tannins, there's some astringency going on there. There's a lot of the tobacco leaf moment in here. And there's a lot of that dark, dark, fruity moment going on here. Little tart from my personal experience. There's a tiny little bit of sweetness that goes through there, but there's a little bit of acidity as well, which does not grow well with my taste buds. Other people that are not have such a sweet tooth as I do are going to love this whiskey. I'm going to give it actually a C+, and I'm going to give it a value for money for a C+ as well. There are not that many whiskeys out there of a vintage, single cask strength, 19-year-old, under 100 euros. At least not in my, that I can see, that I can feel, that I can find, that I've had. So the value for money here is high. So I did not buy the 1988, shame on me, I should have. But I was not convinced that they were doing a good job. But hey, my community knows better than I do. Lesson noted and hopefully lesson learned. The perspective, on the other hand, the 21-year-old, those 21-year-old, a 25-year-old, and 23-year-old, all the videos you can find here on my channel. I think it was the 25-year-old that I liked the best. It's good. There's a little bit of a tart lemon note in there. Is it worth the money? Is this worth the money? I would say yes. All right, so as I mentioned, the name of the website is WeWantFunk, FUNK.com. Wonderful name. WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American. Please like, subscribe, tell others. And thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much for actually being here and sharing with others. All the best. See you soon. Interesting whiskey. Bye-bye.